Please welcome veteran speaker and Microsoft MVP, Jeevarajan Kumar and Dharanidharan Balasubramaniam. Today, they will be presenting their session content, Copilot in 365 customer service and field service. Please stick around after Jeevarajan and Dharanidharan's session for a live Q&A.
Thank you so much, Jeeva. Hello, everyone. Myself, Dharani. I'm based out of Sydney, Australia. I work as a senior manager with Capgemini Australia, and I'm also a Microsoft MVP in business applications for last 4 years. And I'm leading the community in Sydney and Malaysia as well. And also, I have been recognized as a Microsoft Learn experts. And please feel free to get in touch with us over the social network. And if you have any queries, please feel free to get in touch with us. We are always happy to help you guys. And also, I'm passionate about how we can leverage the tools like Dynamics 365 using the Copilot. So let's start with a quick look at our agenda today. So we'll be covering the powerful features of Copilot in Dynamics 365, starting with how it enhances customer service. And I will walk you through the Copilot is making a difference from automating the responses to creating the intelligent summaries, helping the teams deliver the faster and also in a more effective way. And then Jeeva will deep dive into field service part, where he will cover how Copilot supports the field agents with the Copilots. Before we look at a specific topic, whether it is on customer service or a field service, let's talk about the Copilot itself. The Microsoft Copilot is designed to be an AI-powered assistant that helps simplify the complex workflows, automate the repetitive tasks, and make our data more actionable. In Dynamics 365, the Copilot leverages AI to help user get insights more faster and also make decision with confidence, and also it is freeing up a time for high value work. With Copilot, the user can really interact naturally using the everyday language English. It processes requests in a very real time, and it provides contextually relevant suggestions to the people and also adapts to your needs. So it all depends on how it is learning and improving over a period of time. Now let's jump into the specifics of how the Copilot helps, especially in the customer service. So the customer service is all about delivering the quick, accurate, and personalized support to the customers. Am I right? So this is where the Copilot steps in as a game changer. It supports the agents by providing the intelligent responses and even suggesting the actions based on the context of the customer actions. For example, if the customer is reaching out with an issue, then the Copilot can suggest the relevant troubleshooting steps or solution based on the similar cases. It also helps the agent stay focused on handling some repetitive task like drafting the email responses or summarizing the past interactions with the customer, so they can spend more quality time focusing on the customer unique needs. And the Copilot also enables the predictive analysis, meaning it can potentially flag the issues before they are going to arise. This makes it easier for agents to provide an the personalized experience to the customer. With Copilot, the customer service teams are not just responding, they are also anticipating, and that leads to higher satisfaction for both the customers as well as for the agents. All right, now let's look at one of my favorite feature, the Copilot feature, which is there in the Dynamics 365 customer service. The feature is the write an email with the Copilot. This feature is designed to make the email drafting process incredibly very smoother, quicker, and especially when dealing with the high volumes of our customers, the customer queries, instead of spending a time crafting the responses from the scratch, the Copilot helps the agents by generating the contextually the relevant email drafts in a seconds. I have prepared a short video to show you how exactly how this feature works in action. As you will see, when an agent opens the customer case, they have an option to select write an email with the Copilot directly from the interface. The system takes the context from the case details like the customer name, issue type, and the previous interaction, and it composes a draft that almost it's ready to send. And even if you want to change the tone, you will get an option to change the tone, and based on your tone like casual or formal, whatever the tone you are suggesting it, based on that it will give you the draft version. Once the draft version is ready, you can copy it and you can preview it, and then it is all set to send to the customer. It has both the option. One is the help pane and the other one is the inline. So both the ways the Copilot is helping the agents to draft the email. So, and even you can adjust with the Copilot. So as I mentioned earlier, so you have a different tones, whether you need that email in a casual tone or a formal tone or a friendly tone, you can suggest, and if you click on it, then automatically the Copilot will generate this email content and it will give the draft version for you. Now, let's deep into the help pane option in detail. Let's talk about this help pane, which is like having a supportive guide while you are working on an email. The help pane offers very quick tips and suggestions, making it easy to customize the draft the Copilot generates. It even provides a set of pre-filled templates or responses for different scenarios. This is super helpful for all the agents who might need a bit of a guidance on best practices or simply want to get the email out faster. Now, in addition to this help pane, there is a chat pane where the agent draft the email. It comes up with some really useful feature. For example, there is a preview option that agents can exactly see how the email will look before it is sent. There is also option for editing and redefining the text the Copilot generates, allowing the agents to make changes quickly, whether they need to adjust the tone or add any additional information, or if they want to personalize the message further. So all those options are possible with this chat pane. Copilot also suggests the subject lines based on the email content, which is great because we all know how the subject line is very crucial for all the customer interaction. And if there are any attachments associated with that particular case, the Copilot can even recommend including those as part of the email, making sure that nothing is getting missed out while sending it to the customer. So that is also one of the key feature which is available. If you need to enable the Copilot help pane, so you need to navigate to the settings. Under the customer service settings, you need to look for the Copilot configuration option. Here you will find whatever it is there in my screen. You need to check on this checkbox and you need to opt in. Once it is enabled, then agent will see this help pane option and the inline option while composing an email. Now that we have enabled the help pane, now let's explore one of its most useful tools, the suggested prompts. So within this feature, so within the suggested prompts, again, agents can easily select the ready to use phrase based on the common scenarios. For example, the customer might suggest the customer might reached out to us regarding some billing inquiry. Then Copilot, it automatically suggests opening lines for the email, and also it comes up with the more specific response tailored to the custom needs. Whenever the agent selects the prompt, then Copilot automatically fills in the recent interaction details or the relevant information like a customer name, customer number, and what all the information required for the email, and it will compose the draft content. So now the draft content is accurate and it is ready to send to the customer just in a few clicks. This feature really helps the agent to respond to the email faster, and also it helps them to maintain the consistency and the professionalism in each message. This is one of the another example of how the Copilot AI can simplify the workflows, and also how it is enhancing the customer service experience. So the next feature now we can see is the inline Copilot. Now let's take a close look at the inline Copilot feature. So here with this inline Copilot feature, there is one more advantage with respect to the help pane and the chat pane. Here it will ask you what kind of email do you want to send, and now we can see like how this inline feature works in detail. When the agent starts to draft an email, the Copilot prompts them to describe in a short words, say describe what you would like to write, and Copilot will generate that email for you. Like you can write in a few words saying and to follow up on an issue or welcome message or a billing inquiry. By simply using our natural language, the agent gives the Copilot enough context to generate a detailed and more polished email tailored to the customer needs. This feature is really great because it allows agent to skip the initial drafting phase, and it is going straight to the reviewing and the personalizing. It's efficient, and it saves time and ensures that every email is clear, concise, and professionally structured right from the start. Now let's look at the Copilot for Service feature within the Dynamics 365 CE customer service. This feature is particularly helpful when responding to the email directly comes from the customers. Once the email comes in through our Outlook, then Copilot analyzes that email and offers a response draft based on the customer's email. It reads the tone, identify any questions, and it provides an contextually accurate reply to help agents to respond quickly and effectively. While I cannot demo this feature right now today, since our current tenant does not have Office 365 enabled, so this functionality is a fantastic addition for the teams whomever is using an Outlook. It means agent don't have to start anything from the scratch with the responses. Instead, they have a detailed AI generated draft ready to review and send, making it easy to keep the response time shorter and communication on point. To deploy this Copilot for service for the selected users, admin can access through the user specific settings, which is available in the Dynamics 365 Customer Center admin pane. So they can navigate over there and they can enable this feature from there. So first they need to navigate to the customer service settings in the Dynamics 365. Under the Copilot configuration, enable the Copilot for service feature, then use the user permission option to assign access to specific user or the teams. This allows admins to selectively roll out this Copilot for select the service for the designated agents. So they can ability to leverage the AI generator. Only those agents will get the ability to leverage this AI generated responses. This approaches ensures a controlled rollout, allowing your team to test and adapt to this feature gradually. With the selective deployment, admins can monitor how the Copilot improves the response efficiency and make the adjustment as needed. In summary, this right-hand Copilot feature is all about boosting the productivity and consistency in the customer instructions. From suggested prompts to inline drafts and intelligent response, the suggestion based on incoming emails, the Copilot is providing a range of uh, features in this write an email feature to make the email communication faster, easier, and more effective. This feature truly empowers the agent to focus on the customer while the Copilot handles the heavy lifting of crafting all the responses part. Now, let's look at the some of the other powerful the generative AI features which is available in the customer service, including case summary, conversation history, and the timeline highlights. The case summary, it gives an agent quick snapshot of the customer issues and the history, and it saves a good amount of time for the agents to respond to the customer instead of gathering all the information. The conversation summary, it provides a recap of the recent chats so the agent can quickly catch up with the customer, especially in case of an escalations. And timeline highlights, it captures the key events in the case like update or the status change, helping the agents understand the case progress quickly at a glance. This feature makes it easier for agents to stay informed and focus on resolving the case as early as possible. To give a close look at this generative AI features, I have recorded a short demo. In this video, I will show you how the case summary provides a quick overview of the customer's issue, how the conversation summary recaps recent interaction for the smooth handoffs, and how timeline highlights tracks the key events, making it easy to see a case progress quickly at a glance. This demo will show you exactly how this feature can save time and help the agent stay top of every case more effectively. So you can see the refresh button over there. If you click on it, it will automatically regenerate the case response. So the case response will get regenerated based on the recent values which is available in this particular case. And below you can see the highlights option which is available, and if you click on this, and it will give you the timeline highlights. And if you want to regenerate it again, similarly, like you have a refresh button below, and if you click on that, and it will regenerate the timeline highlights. Now let's deep dive into each of the feature which we have seen in the previous slide. Let's start with the case summary. It is one of the most valuable the generative AI features for the customer service agents. The case summary feature automatically generate the concise overview of the entire case, capturing the main details and also the recent activity. This summary includes the important points like the customer initial issue, any follow-up action, or any key updates. So agents don't have to spend the time piecing together the details from the various sources. Instead, they will get a complete picture of the case right at their fingertips. This feature is especially helpful when the agent takes over an ongoing case, or if this case has been escalated. It ensures the agent can understand the situation instantly without missing any crucial information, and they can act on it immediately. By having the case summary right in front of them, agents are prepared to offer the targeted support, the faster resolution, improving the overall experience for the customer. In short, this case summary is all about efficiency, helping the agents focus on solving the issue rather than searching for the information. Now will quickly see how we can manage this case summary, the field setups. So this is very crucial. So all these fields needs to be configured. So what all the fields we are configuring it over here, based on this fields, the case summary will get generated. This includes the configuring the fields that track the essential information such as the initial case issue, like the case status. So all these are the key fields. So we need to make sure all these fields are configured rightly so that the case summary gets generated more accurately. And also we need to ensure that agents enter and update the information. So this accuracy is the key thing for the case summary, as the data is directly feeds into the AI generated summaries. So it needs to give a clear and helpful overview for anyone who is handling the case, right? So we need to keep the data in a more organized and up to date, so it makes the case summary more reliable and effective for the faster and the informed service. So now let's look at the timeline highlights feature. This feature provides an agent with an quick view of all the major events, in case like an escalation or updates or any key action taken within the case. So all those things will be captured in this timeline highlights. It makes it easy to follow the case journey at a glance, helping the agents understand the context and progression instantly. And this way they can jump in and address the customer needs with the full awareness of what happened so far. And with that, it will save a good amount of time, and also it ensures a smooth and the informed interactions with the customer. So far we have explored how the Copilot is enhancing the customer service in the Dynamics 365 CE, so making it very easier for the agents to make the cases easy and how the customer service agents can deliver the fast and how they can effectively respond to the customer. It's all mainly about the efficiency, how in the customer service, how we are bringing the efficiency with the Copilot. Here is an image from the Dynamics 365 2024 Wave 2 release highlighting the latest features. With that, I will hand it over to Jeeva to dive into the field service capabilities. Over to you, Jeeva.
Thank you, Dharani. Thank you for the nice summary on the Copilot features for the customer service. Let me just quickly share my screen as well. And I'll just quickly start with the field service, Copilot in the field service. All right, so Dharani has given an introduction about what the Copilot is and how it's really comes handy and makes, like the businesses to get the valuable insights and how it helps the business users to focus on their productive time on the productive task rather than the repetitive task, which can be offloaded to the Copilot. And similarly, for the field service, the product offers certain Copilot features that really helps the technicians or the frontline managers and also the back office administrators in a more productive way. So what we'll do is today we'll see some introduction about how it really helps the field service and also what are the different Copilot features that's been offered in different areas of the field service, like the field service in the web and in the field service in mobile app, and also the field service in Outlook and Teams. So for today, I have the demo for field service in web and field service in mobile app, but I don't have the demo to show it for the Copilot for field service in Outlook and Teams due to the same restriction that DD basically said now, which is, in this demo that we are using. But I do have a screenshot that will help you. So without further ado, what I'll do is I'll just get into the next one, which is going to be the introduction about the Copilot in field service. So as you can see, we must have been hearing a lot about Copilot recently in terms of Microsoft 365 and also Dynamics 365. And the Copilot has become part and parcel of the component right now. And it's been adopted by our different customers who have been using customer service and field service and sales as well. So pretty much all the Copilot is pretty much across all the business applications, I would say. And then the focus, of course, what we're going to seeing today is on the customer service and the field service. So as you can see, the Copilot pretty much slices through across all the business applications right here. And it integrates natively with the Teams, Viva, Outlook, and Task as well. So in terms of field service itself, so Copilot really helps the Dynamics 365 field service support and it takes it to the next level. As field service, I don't want to go in details about the field service. In a nutshell, field service is a Microsoft product. First-party apps, of course, similar to the customer service, but it's more to the field agents and the field technicians to basically manage the work orders at the field. And Copilot really helps the different personas who uses field service and take that business operation to the next level, making it more productive and keeping it, the focus of the valuable resources on the key work rather than focus wasting the time on the mundane tasks. So for example, the common three personas that we use in field service are dispatcher, frontline technician, and field service manager. So Copilot really helps the dispatcher who basically organizes the work order and assigns to the frontline technicians. It helps the dispatchers to find the right technician based on the customer needs. The customer needs could be complex based on the different business scenario, and Copilot really helps to get the right technician for the right job by providing the dispatcher with the right information. And also it helps to optimize the schedule, which is basically, the schedule is nothing but, assigning these technicians to the work order in the right time and the right location with the right skill sets. So Copilot really helps to optimize that schedule as well. And in terms of the frontline frontline technician, which is the person who basically works in the field. So Copilot really helps the frontline technician to to give them the access to all the tools that's required in a single place, which we'll see shortly. And Copilot really helps to get the information in a single click, to get the summary of the work orders. And also in this today fast-paced world, where the technician basically deals with multiple work orders on a single day with a different level of a different kind of customers and different types of work orders, Copilot really helps to update the work orders in a single click or by speech to text, rather than technician basically going through all the plethora of information against the work order and trying to summarize them when basically he or she is talking to the customer. And we'll see all those things in action shortly. And the third persona, a key persona in typical field service implementation, is field service manager, who basically, more is responsible to be primarily on the triaging and managing the work orders from the multiple from the multiple sources, like emails, chats, all those things. And Copilot really offers a nice plugin to pretty much, which helps the manager to use one single interface to manage the work orders and assign it to the appropriate resources, which again we will see shortly. And overall, it maximizes the productivity, of course, no questions at all. And also it utilizes the frontline workers or the field technicians effectively, and which indeed helps to boost that customer relationships and gets access to the insights so that they can provide the valuable service to the customer at the right time with the right resources. So that's the quick overview of how field service will help the different personas, and which we'll see them one by one in the next slides. So the first one, in terms of Copilot for D365 field service in web. So typically, without Copilot, a typical challenges the business would face is, like a frontline technician spending hours and every day recapping, large amount of work orders and resources and schedules and customer information. And also the dispatchers pretty much, managing all the information, capturing the information in the system, and then trying to make use of that information effectively to make sure that they provide the valuable services to the customer the next time. So, it's not an easy task, considering the volume of work orders and the volume of customers and different kind of products the business has. The complexity increases, and the dispatchers have tough time managing them. And that's where the Copilot really comes into the picture as well. And it really helps to auto-summarize the work orders, which means we're talking about the work orders and its related entities, related data like products, service tasks, inspections, assets, all those things. And it really helps the dispatcher to get by just asking a question in the natural language, they can get all the necessary information in just one stop place in the forms, in the web interface or in the mobile interface, which you'll see now. And with that information, they will be able to take an actionable insights for the customer, which of course will help to boost that, like sales, and also it increases CSAT score of the customer for the customer service team. And they will be able to get access to the summaries and the actionable insights, especially when they are needed the most. That's the critical part of the business. Unless until, with this kind of advanced tool in the hand, it's going to take few minutes or sometimes day to basically, get back to the customer when the customer is really looking for those kind of information. And that's where it really helps the business. And how it helps. So first one we're talking about is the work order summary. So work order summary, pretty much as you can see in the screen, if I just ask the Copilot to basically, generate a summary, it generates a summary for the work order based on the work order status. So when the work order is completed, the summary will pretty much briefs about how the completed status of the work order, like who has done it, how they done it, what has been used, those kind of stuffs. If let's say work order is in progress, it pretty much a summary will be focusing on the in progress thing, saying that which technician has been assigned and when is expected to arrive and what kind of job is expected to be done, those kind of things. And let's say if I generate a summary for the work order that's been just scheduled, again, it will be based on that context. So based on the status context, the summary of course varies. And The summary basically records all the history and the future actions and arrival times and the required parts and all the criticality and any information that's specific to that work order. So it uses the work order ID and also the security access of the user, whoever is running it. So if I'm the user and I don't have an access to certain field or certain related table, I will not, Copilot will not have that information that I don't have access to in the generated response. So it's smart enough to manage that from the security standpoint. Of course, the out-of-the-box summary uses the certain fields and related to the work order and its related tables. But as administrator, we can add more columns or the fields from the related table of the work order. So which again we'll see in the demo shortly. And the key thing is this is an preview feature, so which means it's still not recommended to be used in the production environment. And currently, this whole summary can be only configured for work orders and bookable resource bookings, and it's not available in offline. It only works in the online. Before jumping into the demo, I would like to just show the different feature, which is also uses the Copilot. So it's called the side pane. So pretty much your Copilot, you can access the Copilot from the side pane in the field service app, as you can see here, and you can pretty much ask any question to the Copilot that's relevant to the work order or service account, anything like that. And what it does is it pretty much gives you that information. So again, it makes dispatcher or the manager's life a lot easier, because they'll be able to get the information, critical information, with just single click and then asking it in natural language. Copilot is going to help them to, so that they can provide the best customer service in just one liner. And that's what we're going to see in the demo as well. So if we just quickly bring up my demo environment here. So if you just start with the side pane, as you can see, I have a bunch of sample work orders here, and that's been assigned to some of the resources and then a different priority. If you just click on the side pane, and you can see there are different work orders for the service account Cafe Duo. As you can see, if I just ask the Copilot to say, bring me the list of service or work orders for this particular service account, and you can see Copilot has brought, it says, I have 22 work orders, and some of them include blah, 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 and which, various different work orders associated with the service account. If I ask something, it's going to give me something else, right? So list all the work orders assigned to the resource. That's going to pretty much bring all the resource work orders assigned to the resource Jeevarajan Kumar. So when it does that, what I'll do is I'll just open and show the work order summary in the interest of time. So as you can see, it's in the scheduled status, this work order, and it's assigned to a resource. And if I go and generate the summary, and I can see what the Copilot comes up with. So it basically says, this has been scheduled to due to so-and-so reason at so-and-so time for so-and-so address. And then this assigned person is this technician, and who is also scheduled for the same time. Ensure you have necessary tools, blah, 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 right? So because it's been scheduled, the summary is from the context of the work order that's currently scheduled. So if I go to a work order that's, let's say, in progress, and if I try something, you'll see how the response looks like now. So you can see the work order has been, it's currently in progress, and it started in this time, and then this requires this information, and any not sufficient information mentioned on though, all this kind of stuff. If you're not happy, you can always regenerate it, and it's going to generate something different, of course, within the context of the right information it has. So that's how the work order summary really helps the dispatcher and the back office manager from the web app. Let's quickly see how it really helps in the mobile app as well, right? So mobile app, of course, the main party who's going to use the mobile app, the main persona who's going to use the mobile app is the technicians. And technicians as the heart of the field service implementation, because they are the one who is working on the ground and who will be facing many work orders from from one work order to multiple work order in a day, with different customer traveling different location. And the last thing is they want to have is the technology challenge. And how Copilot does is currently without Copilot, you can see the technicians struggle with the tight schedule of appointments, and in between they have to capture the information between each appointments and each work orders, and finding the right with a massive implementation with tons of fields in the form. It's never been an easy job for technician to capture those information into the fields. And they face lots of pressure in recording this right information because it's also prone to error when they are working and also managing to capture the information. How Copilot helps them is to basically it boosts their productivity, because it's with this Copilot, they can just describe what they have done and Copilot will help them to update it. And also they can get the summary of work order similar to what we saw in the web app. So if I go to the next one, you can see that there's a nice interface that shows up. And with that, either they can summarize the work order, which Copilot really helps them to summarize it. And then they can communicate the same to the customer on what they have done and what has been done so far and what has been planned. And also they can update all the service tasks or the let's say, product quantity or product status or the booking status, booking duration, everything, just by typing that what they want in a natural language, or they can just talk to the use the speech to text using the mic, and Copilot basically understands it and it basically prompts what they can do as it's shown here. And only once they confirm, it will automatically update those relevant fields. If they don't want to update, they can always skip. If let's say they want to update some of them and they want to skip some of them, they can always select those that they want to update and they can ignore the others that they want to skip. And once they confirm, Copilot pretty much does the updates which they have selected. I also recorded a quick demo in my mobile app, which I used. So if I just quickly play this one. So you can see I have two bookings here, and I click on the Copilot. And first I'm using the summarizing one, and you can see it summarizes similar to the web app. And I can just use this to, I can copy it and use it in an email or something like that. Or I can go open the bookings, the booking and then generate it from here as well. Or I can go to Copilot and use the update option, which, either I can type it or I can use speech to text to basically declare what the Copilot wants to do for this particular work order. So in this case, what I'm trying to do here is I'll just let the Copilot that I would like to close all the tasks and close this particular booking. And then I'll just use this to leverage the Copilot to do his job. So you can see, I'm not typing anything. Imagine a technician working there and then speaking to the phone, and then it just picks up what the technician has described. And then Copilot pretty much suggests here on, what to do. So you can see Copilot suggested that there are 3 service tasks that can be closed, and also the booking status can be completed, changed to complete. So in this case, you can see if I just select 2 service tasks and then let the Copilot to change the status to complete, it will just do that and then ignore the last one. Or I just select all of them, it pretty much does the changes status of everything. So in this case, I'm just leaving it as it is and just confirming it. And you can see now the suggestion has been updated and this job has been completed. And if I open the job, you can see in the service that pretty much all the task has been completed. So that's how simple it is. Imagine doing this without Copilot. The technician has to just open it and modify it one by one. Here we are talking about just 3, but imagine there are like more than 10, and then we're talking about like few bunch of information in one work order. It saves a lot of time. And that's how it really makes huge difference. And that's from the technician experience standpoint. With the interest of time, I'll just quickly flash in the third person, which we just saw, the field service manager. Imagine, like someone who is using the Outlook extensively and who wants to manage the work order and creating work order, modifying work order, and then assigning, scheduling or rescheduling the work order to a different resource from the Outlook. This Copilot add-in for the Outlook is a huge thing. So as you can see here, the Copilot pretty much helps to identify the email. And then from the email, it suggests what can be done, whether if you want to create a work order from the email. If I click on it, automatically Copilot picks up the necessary information, the data points from the email, and then it fills in automatically the data that can be used to create an work order. The key thing is if the email doesn't meet, of course, the Microsoft responsible AI guidelines, Copilot just displays an error. It's not going to just use that email. So that's something you need to be aware of. And that's an automatic creation of the work order. And you can also basically use Copilot by clicking on the add-on and then, which basically pops up. And then you can enter the information or copy paste it and then save it. And second thing is you can also draft a response back using the Copilot. So from the email, you can basically say what needs to be done. And then you can say draft email with suggestion. It basically brings you a suggestion based on the data that has been sitting in the business application or field service. And then it basically fills in that data within the email. Either you can just click add to email to basically copy the response back in the email, or you can just copy to the clipboard and then modify it and then use it. Or you can basically adjust it and then, you can adjust the length and the tone of the response, and then you can regenerate it again and then update it. So those things can be done as well to respond to the email. Or you can also directly within the Outlook add in, you can schedule or reschedule. You can see for a particular work order, when I click schedule, it brings up all the technicians or that's suitable. And I can just use it for scheduling a new work order or rescheduling the existing work order. Or I can also use it to move a booking to a different date and time. This all can be done within Outlook. And the last thing is also the Copilot for field service in the Teams. So with the Microsoft Copilot for Teams license, we'll be able to bring in the information, like someone like field service manager, again, use just the Teams to basically read the information about the Copilot and then, get the necessary data from the work order and then communicate to the customers and the business. So you can see the team pretty much suggest the best scheduling options as well. And based on, of course, the different technician factors like skills, availability, etc. And if there is any documents being attached against the work order, Copilot is smart enough to search to the work orders attachments and then, bring in the information as well. It's such a powerful tool. And due to the limitation of the tenant, I don't have a demo for this too. But, that's in a nutshell how the Copilot pretty much helps in different personas in different systems. With that, pretty much Copilot for field service is done. And I would like to open the forum for the questions. Please feel free to type your questions in the chat right now. And Didi and I will be happy to help you.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining for the session today. I hope you have been having a good time today, going through lots of amazing sessions from other specialists and MVPs and community leaders and Microsoft certified trainers and all those experts. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining for the session today. I hope you. Apologies for that. Yeah, I hope you're having a good time, as I said. And please feel free to ask any questions if you have. And Dharani and I are happy to help you.
Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat. We are happy to help you guys here. Jiva, there is one question. The Copilot summary on work order is not available yet, correct?
It is available.
So, Christian, I hope Jiva answered your question. Guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat. We'll try to help you guys.
If you're talking about general availability, no, it is in the preview. But it is available for you to basically go and configure and use it. Alrighty, I don't see any more questions, and please feel free to reach out to me or Dharani or a social media handle via LinkedIn, or feel free to email us. We're happy to help you if there's any questions even after the sessions. Anything from you, Dharani?
No, all good from my side, Jiva. Thank you once again, DynamicsCon, for providing this wonderful opportunity.
Alrighty, and thanks to the DynamicsCon again for the opportunity, and looking forward for the more next year and the next season. Cheers, thanks.